They say hindsight is perfect vision. At 72, sitting in this cramped apartment in Chicago, I can tell you that's not quite right. Hindsight isn't perfect, it's painful. My name is Marcus. For 3 decades, I ran a manufacturing empire that peaked at $180 million in value. I had the executive suite, the luxury sedan, the lakefront property. Industry publications profiled me. Aspiring business owners sought my mentorship. None of them knew the truth. While climbing that ladder, I was dismantling my life piece by piece, and when I finally understood what I'd done, most of it was beyond repair. The money remains, but I'd surrender it all, every stock, every asset, every dollar, for the chance to rewrite my story. If you're grinding through endless hours, convincing yourself that sacrifice today means happiness tomorrow, you need to hear what I've learned. I was once you, and I was catastrophically wrong. I was 28, freshly married to Jennifer, launching my first venture, manufacturing components for the auto industry, unglamorous work that promised solid returns. Everyone said I was reckless. I was determined to prove otherwise. Those initial years devoured me. 90-hour weeks became normal. I abandoned dinners, celebrations, weekends. Jennifer was patient. "We're investing in tomorrow," she'd remind me. I believed her. I genuinely thought there was a finish line where we'd finally live the life we'd postponed. That delusion sustained me for 2 decades. Our son Michael arrived in 1985. Jennifer's labor started during a supplier negotiation. I made it to the hospital, but hours too late for his birth. I promised myself I'd be present for what mattered. That promise evaporated immediately. I missed Michael watching him learn to walk, his first day of kindergarten, his Little League games, his middle school science fair. There's one moment that still wakes me at night. Michael was maybe 8. He'd built a model airplane and brought it to my study. His face was radiant with pride, but I was reviewing quarterly projections. I raised one finger. "Just 1 minute, buddy." He waited perhaps 20 seconds, then he left. Years later, I discovered that airplane in a box in the garage. He'd attached a note to the wing, "For Dad when he has time." He was 8 years old. By the time I found it, our relationship was already fractured beyond easy repair. By 1995, we'd arrived. The company's valuation hit $45 million. We moved to a house 3 times too large for 3 people. We finally took a vacation. 10 days in the Caribbean, our first genuine break in 13 years. I thought I'd been vindicated, see? All that sacrifice had purpose, but everything had shifted while I wasn't paying attention. Jennifer had constructed an entire existence that didn't include me. Her book club, her volunteer work at the community center, her network of actual friendships. Michael was 14 and treated me like a barely tolerated roommate. I'd become a visitor in my own home. I rationalized it away. Teenagers are difficult. Once Michael left for college, we'd reconnect. That mythical later I kept promising myself. Michael enrolled at Northwestern in 2003. I was immensely proud, but when we moved him into his dorm, he embraced Jennifer for what felt like an eternity. His hug for me lasted 3 seconds, perfunctory, obligatory. That same autumn, Jennifer requested a divorce, 21 years of marriage. She was finished waiting for me to show up. "I've been alone in this marriage for 15 years, Marcus," she said. "You've been married to spreadsheets and factory floors, not to me." I couldn't mount a defense. She was absolutely right. After Jennifer left, I did what I always did. I worked harder. The company grew to $180 million. Forbes ran a feature. People asked about my success formula. I never told them I'd bought it by destroying everything worth having. I was 63 when my heart gave me a warning. Working late, always working late. When the chest pains started, I drove myself to the emergency room. There was nobody to call. Jennifer had remarried. Michael was in Seattle. My assistant discovered my absence the following morning when I missed our 8 a.m. meeting. Alone in that hospital bed, surrounded by beeping monitors, I experienced something close to clarity. What had any of this been for? I'd built this enormous enterprise. For whom? Jennifer was gone. Michael had learned to exist without me. For myself, for my ego, for some constantly receding horizon of enough. I sold the company in 2015. The payout was substantial, and then I had to figure out what my life actually was. 67 years old, financially secure for 5 lifetimes, emotionally bankrupt. I've tried to rebuild things with Michael, weekly phone calls, visits to Seattle. But here's what they don't tell you about time. It's not recoverable. You can't retroactively attend those Little League games. Once a moment passes, it's permanently gone. Michael is cordial. We meet for meals when I visit. We discuss safe topics, weather, sports, his work. But we don't have what other fathers and sons share. We don't have inside jokes or shared stories or comfortable silences. We're polite, pleasant, not close. That's my doing. 4 years ago, Michael got married. He asked me to attend, which I did. During the reception, he gave a speech thanking Jennifer. He talked about how she'd supported every dream, how she'd taught him resilience, how she'd shown him what integrity looked like. He thanked me for coming. That was the extent of it. He thanked me for showing up to his wedding like I was any other guest. That night, alone in my hotel, I wept for the first time in decades. I'd missed it all. The moments that construct a life. I'd been so fixated on building something I thought was significant that I'd missed watching my son become a man. I'd missed being part of his life. Now I'm an elderly man he tolerates out of obligation, not because he wants me present. Here's what consumed 60 years to learn. Success is hollow without people to share it. Wealth is meaningless if you're alone. Achievements are empty if nobody you love cares. I see young people today repeating my mistakes. 70-hour weeks, missing dinner because there's one more presentation to finish, prioritizing career advancement over marriages. They all recite the same script I memorized. Just a few more years. Once I make this promotion, once I hit this target, once I achieve this milestone, then I'll focus on family. It never happens. Because there's always another goal, always another promotion, always another deal. The finish line is a mirage. Meanwhile, your children grow. Your marriage deteriorates. You wake up one morning as an old man with abundant money and crushing regrets. If I could speak to 28-year-old Marcus, I'd say this: your company will function if you leave at 6. That meeting can be rescheduled. That email can wait until morning, but your son's childhood won't wait. His baseball game is Saturday. His school concert is tonight. Once those moments pass, they're permanently gone. Work persists. There will always be another project, another crisis that seems urgent. But your children won't always be children. Your spouse won't wait indefinitely. Your parents won't live forever. The people you love exist on a timer. You don't know when it expires. I have more money than I'll need for 3 lifetimes. I have investments and properties and accounts that could support a small village. I'd trade it all, every single cent, for one more afternoon with 8-year-old Michael. One more evening with Jennifer before I pushed her away, for the chance to be present instead of perpetually absent. You want to know something darkly amusing? Nobody at my former company remembers me. They brought in new leadership after the sale. Within 18 months, it was as though I'd never existed. The deals I sacrificed everything for, nobody discusses them anymore. The achievements I thought were monumental, they're footnotes in archived trade publications nobody reads. But Michael remembers. He remembers every absence, every missed birthday, every broken promise, every time I chose revenue projections over him. Those memories are permanent. They shaped who he became. They defined our relationship. I can't undo any of it. I'm 72. I live alone in a small apartment overlooking Lake Michigan. I have more time than I know how to fill. I read extensively. I travel occasionally. I volunteer at a community kitchen. Mostly, I think about what could have been. I think about the life I might have had if I'd understood earlier that success isn't measured in revenue or market share or square footage. Success is measured in relationships, in presence, and love. If you're reading this while working late again, stop, close your laptop, go home, have dinner with your family, play with your kids, watch that show with your partner. Be present. Be there. I promise you, 20 years from now, you won't remember what that presentation said, but you'll remember whether you were there for the moments that mattered. If you're thinking, but my situation is different, I'm building something important, I thought that too. Every person who makes this mistake thinks they're the exception. We're not. We're all the same. We all think we have more time. We all think family will wait. We all think we can compensate later. You can't. I learned this 40 years too late. Learn it now. Go home. Be present. Choose your family. Because at the end of your life, nobody will care about your career accomplishments, but the people you love will care whether you were there. If you're not careful, you'll end up like me, wealthy, accomplished, successful, and utterly alone. If this makes you uncomfortable, that's appropriate. It should. If it makes you want to change something, even better. Don't wait. Don't promise yourself you'll start tomorrow or next month. Do it today. Do it now. Because time doesn't respect your plans. Time just moves forward and eventually you run out of it. What are you going to do differently? Think about it seriously. Then close this and go be with the people who matter, because trust me, they matter more than anything else ever will.